All right, guys, today we're going to switch things up. Just kidding. We're going to play 1-3 at Chasers, like always. Hopefully soon I'll be able to string together a few big wins and take another shot at 2-5, but today is not the day. I hope soon I'll be the endgame 2-5 boss reg, but I'm going to remain the endgame boss reg of 1-3 Northeast today. It's just getting old. I want to move up. I want to play bigger. I want to be better, but to do that, you need a proper bankroll, and I don't have that quite yet. And yeah, let's just get right into the hands.
You have like a buy-in.
First interesting hand, I pick up Ace-King offsuit in the low jack. I've been hearing a lot of Ace-King slander at my tables recently, and I just want to let you guys know, any Ace-King slander will not be tolerated in my comment section. If you have anything bad to say about a hand, make sure it's Ace-Queen or pocket jacks. In that case, I'll join on the hate train with you guys. Anyway, action folds to me and I open to $15. Only the button makes the call, so we're heads up to a flop out of position of Ace, 7, 8, 2 spades. When I'm out of position in these heads up pots, I pretty much always check my range. This is no exception. I check and the button throws out a bet of $10. I'm obviously not checking this board not to check raise. I make it $50 and I really like doing this in single raise pots, and that's for a couple reasons. First, it protects your checking range. So if you're always checking and then folding to a bet, it makes it really easy to play against you. When you have check calls, check folds, and check raises in your range, your opponent should be moving some of their betting range into their checking range, and this is super helpful because it helps you get free cards out of position if you're on a draw or something like that. The second reason I like doing this is all the nits at your table think you're a fucking psychopath. They're just sitting there thinking,
what's this aggro 20-something-year-old doing check raising me? Back in the 80s, check raises didn't even exist. Somebody tried to check raise back in my day, they would be taken out of the casino and shot dead.
The button thinks for a second and makes the call. The turn's a brick, the deuce of clubs. I already polarized myself by check raising the flop, so I go for another big bet. I make it $105, and I would be doing this with straight draws, flush draws, combo draws, all that stuff. Also, this sizing sets up for a perfect $250 jam on the river. The button did not look too happy facing this bet. He thinks for about 30 or 45 seconds and ends up making the fold.
Yeah, exactly. You want to...
A few hands pass, action folds to the button, who makes it $15. The small blind folds, and I peel one of my favorite hands, Ace 4 suited. I think calling and folding are both fine, but I've played with this player a decent amount, and I know she's super tight, especially pre-flop. So I decide to go for the 3-bet bluff up to $50. She goes, I should be calling you 100% of the time, but I'm a nit, and throws her cards away. I confirm her suspicions by turning over the 4 of hearts, and I'm going to take down this nice little pot.
I didn't want to have to do it to the dealer.
Action folds to the hijack, who makes it $15. Folds to me in the big blind, and I peel the beautiful Ace-King again. Certainly 3-betting this, I make it $50 to go, and the hijack makes the call. Heads up to a flop of Ace, 10, 5, rainbow. Pretty much always continuing in these 3-bet pots for a small sizing. That's what I do here. I make it $35 and the hijack comes along. The turn's a brick, the 6 of clubs. I sized to $125, setting up a comfortable $350 jam on the river. It doesn't come to that though, as the hijack jams for an additional $340. Ugh, really not loving this spot, guys. It feels like I don't beat any of his value here. The only hands I can really beat are Ace-Queen and an overplayed Ace-Jack. He can easily have Ace-10, pocket 10s, even like pocket 5s or pocket 6s here. But can I really fold top in a 3-bet pot? I just can't do it, guys. I stick the money in. The river's a 3. I'm anxiously waiting to see what this dude flips over. And guys, he flips over Ace-Jack for one of the only hands I beat. Winning a $1,000 pot with one pair is not something you see every day. Just happy it went my way this time. I'm curious to know, what would you guys have done? Drop a comment, let me know, and while you're at it, why not hit the like and subscribe button as well? Alright, that's enough disguised begging. On to the next hand.
It's just gas for my car.
The $6 straddle is activated, and I pick up the beautiful 3-4 offsuit in the big blind. Action folds to me, and I'm never folding this premium holding. I make the standard raise to $20, and before you go and say, oh my god, that is not GTO, it's important to note the guy to my right is my good friend, and he's also playing very deep. We're about $1,100 effective. I'm looking to cooler his balls off, but then disaster strikes. He 3-bets me up to $65. Certainly can't back down now. My plan was to cooler his balls off, and an extra $45 is not going to prevent me from trying to do that. I stick the money in, and we're off to a flop of 10, 8, 7, 2 diamonds. I check, and he throws out a bet of $75. I started thinking, this flop absolutely smashes my range. I'm going to have every straight combo and every set combo. The only issue is, I'm 90% sure he has an overpair here, and he's definitely not going to fold that to check raise. Plus, I have 0% equity. I reluctantly muck the majestic 3-4, and my buddy shows pocket queens, so pretty unlikely I was going to get that to fold.
Should not have been in there with the 3-4.
The very next hand, action folds to me again in the small blind, and I open to $20 with ace jack offsuit. My buddy defends, and we're off to a flop of jack 5-4 2 hearts. Out of position in a single raise pot, I check, and he quickly checks back. The turn is the deuce of hearts. Holding the jack of hearts, I'm not too concerned about him having a flush, so I go for a delayed c-bet of $27. He puts in the call, and the river's not ideal. It's a 6 of clubs. I underrep my hand by checking the flop, so I decide to go for another street of value, this time $60. My buddy snaps me off. I turn over the top, and I'm good against pocket 7s, so got my money back from the 3-4 hand.
50 or 60?
60.
Okay, I just didn't see it.
Alright, so once it gets to our blinds.
There's a low jack open to $15. Action folds to me in the big blind, and I look down at ace king. You guys know it's coming. I 3-bet to $50, and the low jack makes the call. Flop comes pretty Jesus. Flavor? I need to eat some lunch or something. Flop comes pretty favorable. Ace king 5 with 1 club. Pretty chill flop for ace king. Not gonna lie. Loving my life. I make it $50, and better yet, he makes a call. Turns the 6 of clubs, so brings in a backdoor flush draw. I have the ace of clubs, so don't necessarily put him on that, but certainly possible. Maybe he has something like king x of clubs and didn't believe my c-bet. I wouldn't blame him. I've been betting a lot. People have been calling me a little crazy at the table. Gonna keep betting, obviously. I have top 2 pair. I make it $150. He ends up thinking for a while and decides on a call. So, sorry buddy, I'm gonna be jamming any single river. Just a heads up. The river's some random card, like an 8 of spades or something. I Hollywood for a bit like I'm contemplating a bluff, and jam for his remaining $250. This puts him in the tank for a while. My GTO brain is like, what is he thinking about? He either missed his draw and has to fold, or call with an ace or a king. Like, he's getting too good of a price. This guy doesn't subscribe to that line of thinking. He picks up his cards and folds. Hopefully he didn't fold an ace. I think that would be kind of ridiculous, getting like 5-1, but whatever. No big deal. Didn't get max value this time, but that's okay.
Thank you.
I wish.
There's 3 limps to me in the big blind, and I peel king, queen offsuit. Certainly gonna raise, but I made a big mistake. I only raised to $20, and all 3 limpers make the call, so we're gonna be 4 ways to a flop. It comes king 7-3 rainbow. The small blind checks, I check. Don't want to bet out into 3 people with just a pair. Seems like a recipe for disaster in these multi-way pots where you have no idea what these players are gonna show up with on the river. Action checks through, and we're off to a turn, which comes a deuce. The small blind now leads out for $30, and I'm like, yeah, seems like a good price. I call. Maybe he's doing this with a worse king. The other 2 players fold, and we're heads up to a river, which is the 7 of clubs. The small blind now bets $75, and looking back, I think it's just a fold. But I was like, I have a pretty strong hand, and I checked this flop, a lot of players wouldn't expect me to do that. So I leveled myself into a call. And I was right. He was doing that with the worst king. King 7. Oh, wait, that's a full house. Nice hand, sir.
10.
What you got?
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna last
7
what,
full of
3
kings.
Seven?
Last interesting hand of this session. Action folds to me in the cutoff, and I open king deuce suited to $15. Only the player in the big blind makes the call, so we're heads up to a flop of 8-5 deuce with 1 club. The big blind checks to me. No need to bet, I have a little bit of showdown. I check. The turn is the 5 of clubs, pairing the board, but also giving me a backdoor flush draw. The big blind checks again, and now I bet $15 trying to fold out ace high hands. If he calls, there's always plan B, hit my flush or full house on the river. Simple poker. Unfortunately, we're going to have to initiate that plan. He makes the call, and the river is the ace of clubs, giving me the nut flush. The big blind checks, and I decide to go for a big bet. I make it $75. Gonna be hard to put me on a flush when it goes runner-runner like that, and also some ace-high floats have improved to top pair. He snaps me off just about as fast as possible, and yeah, we're obviously good. Maybe I could have gone a little bigger on that river. Seems like he was calling pretty much any bet, but we'll take it. Last big pot of the night is coming our way.
Get in there, kid.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Featured comment right here. I was in for 500, out for 1727. So a win of $1,227. Never complaining about that. Great win. Cool to have done it without really making like a ton of 5-card hands. I pretty much got all my value with 1 pair, which I guess it's a good sign. Like, what's going to happen when I start hitting 5-card hands? It's going to be absolutely insane. The poker economy of New Hampshire is going to go down the absolute toilet. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe.